Wrapped in our lover's arms, we feel safe and secure. But some men shouldn't. What turns a beauty queen into a brute?
Bullet in spouse's head, problem solved.
I love it!
Why love and money doesn't satisfy one English rose.
He was watching himself bleed out.
And how being dumped makes a valedictorian snap.
It was all in for her or nothing.
These deadly women hide their cruel nature. Their men don't have any idea they are sleeping with the enemy. "24-year-old Darlene Doskasel is used to attention.
Because of her good looks and her bubbly personality. And all of that was validated when she won a beauty contest.
Look who's here.
Barbie doll, blonde hair. All the guys crazy for her.
That Darlene. Yeah.
It's no surprise her ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old Keith Gentry, is tempted back into her arms.
Back in a minute.
If Darlene was Barbie, then Keith was her Ken.
Guess who?
He was kind, considerate, handsome, just an all-round great guy.
Hey, when did you get back?
Yesterday?
What, you didn't call?
The college sweethearts split up when Darlene, a dental assistant, tried her luck in a big city, Dallas.
Before Darlene went to Dallas, she was a big popular fish in a small pond. She goes to Dallas, and she's just another pretty girl.
Darlene only lasted 1 year away.
That's fun.
I think she went back home because she missed being in the limelight.
Second time around, the young lovers bond for life and start a family.
She's so perfect.
I called her the cute little blonde mommy because she was very pretty and put together.
Well, he gets it from me.
Now, ain't that the truth?
Everybody thought, gee, they had it together. They were the perfect couple.
They settle on the outskirts of Waco, Texas, to be near his family.
That was where he was born, that's where he stayed, and that's where he really wanted to raise his kids.
Hello? Okay to come in?
Sure, Ma.
To earn extra money,
How's my little twin?
Keith, an electrician, takes a job on the road.
Oh, good. That means more money, right?
He's away from home most of the week.
Look, I was hoping y'all be able to help Darlene out a little bit.
Just try keeping me away from my grandson.
Wouldn't dream of it.
But as the years pass, Darlene's happiness fades. After 3 children and a part-time job as a nurse, her time in the spotlight has disappeared.
Somehow, in the process of having 3 children, she was no longer the center of everyone's universe. She wasn't the center of attention. She wasn't the star of the show anymore, and she didn't like it.
She wants her old life back.
Hi, Glenda. Would you mind looking after the kids for a few hours?
Keith's parents are on hand to babysit.
I don't know what I'd do without you.
They actually lived right next door, and it was so easy for them to be with their grandparents, who absolutely loved it and had no problem with it.
With her children out of her hair, Darlene gets back to taking care of number 1.
Wow.
I'm just going out with the girls for a drink. I won't be too long.
Darlene starts going out with friends a lot. Drinking, partying, just having a ball.
She wasn't ready to give up the happy life. And for her, the happy life was being the center of attention all the time. Darlene was simply selfish.
And I think that was a source of frustration in their marriage.
Ma?
Oh, hello, darling.
Where's Darlene?
She would go and do what she wanted and be with her friends and be gone.
All right, Ma, I'll talk to you in the morning.
Keith began to notice
All right, bye.
the way Darlene took care of the kids. Or rather, didn't take care of the kids.
Right, now you hold that bed nice and tight. You push all the way through the shot, okay?
Keith decides he can't trust Darlene
Oh, now there you go. That's the best one yet.
and gives up his job on the road to spend more time with his children.
He's the doting father, you know, there on the sidelines of the soccer and Little League games, taking the kids to the park, spending time with them.
Keith discovers that Darlene's partying ways are costing a fortune.
You keep swinging away, okay?
Keith got a call one day from the bank that their credit card was overdue. That's a real bad sign.
Who was that?
The bank?
So?
We'll talk about this when we get home.
She has no worries whatsoever about money. It's just paper to her. And she just spends and spends and spends, while the debt just piles up.
Darlene!
Darlene's spending had become a financial family crisis.
Why?
I am not made of money. How am I supposed to pay for all of these things?
Can't even provide clothes for your family.
The perfect couple is heading for a perfect storm.
Her whole life began to just fall apart because it's all about me, because I don't care about anybody else.
Waco, Texas, 2005. Darlene Gentry has 3 small boys,
Darlene!
one unhappy husband,
What?
and a mountain of debt.
This has got to stop.
By all accounts of outsiders, Darlene and Keith were a happy couple.
Or what? You'll leave me?
But inside the house was a different story. There's lots of evidence that things were falling apart.
No more.
Darlene wanted to be free and single. She wanted a different life.
Keith's life insurance policy holds the key.
I'm going to sleep in here tonight.
He's worth $500,000,
Sure.
dead.
Sleep tight.
She always looked for the easy way. What is the easiest, most simplest road I can take that benefits me?
Marriage is not convenient. It's difficult. Murder is convenient. Bullet in spouse's head, problem solved.
He was shot with his head on the pillow.
Darlene wants the murder to look like a home invasion. So she takes Keith's firearms and places them on the front lawn, as if the assailants have abandoned them on their way out. Then she calls 911.
911, what's your emergency?
I woke up this morning. I was in my son's room because they couldn't sleep, and I noticed the back door was wide open and my husband's guns were gone.
But Keith's not dead. He clings to life. His nurse wife does nothing to save him.
the critical information that the person who she had built a life with was laying in a pool of blood in their bed, wheezing and still breathing, was buried in the middle of the phone call.
And he's making this god-awful sound.
From the beginning, that 911 call piqued people's suspicions.
13A, 61, 13A, 61.
When police arrive, their first priority is saving Keith. He's rushed to the hospital while police investigate the strange crime scene. The weapons on the front lawn make no sense to anyone but Darlene.
In home invasions, the offender doesn't come in, shoot one person, take a bunch of items, and then leave them on the front lawn and run away.
And things are looking worse for Darlene's story when police find evidence in her trash.
Underneath discarded leftovers, they found a latex glove that had blood on the outside of the glove, and it had a shell casing inside of it that was a .22 caliber shell casing. Her DNA was found on the inside part of the glove. Keith's blood was found on the outside.
Now Darlene is facing a murder charge. 12 hours after the shooting, Keith dies in the hospital. There is just one more thing the police need to seal the case: the murder weapon. And they get a tip from a man who thinks he knows where she hid it.
Darlene is really interested in buying this piece of property, which has a little pond on it, or a lake. What they think is she threw the weapon into that water.
A police search finds the .22 caliber revolver.
When they recovered it, it was identified by Keith's father as the gun that he gave Keith.
To connect Darlene to the gun, they set up a sting, telling her the pond is to be drained, which means Darlene will have to return to retrieve the gun.
The Rangers set up a camera in the woods near the pond and kept it trained on the pond and sat and waited.
She's gonna have to go into that water herself, take out that weapon, because if she doesn't get it, the cops will find it. And here comes Darlene walking into the picture.
Wearing hip waders and walking around in the pond right in the area where the gun had been retrieved.
Beauty queens rarely make good killers, and Darlene Gentry is no exception.
Darlene Gentry is caught red-handed. In 2007, she's found guilty of first-degree murder, sentenced to 60 years behind bars.
Darlene could have divorced Keith, but divorce is costly, and it makes you look bad, especially in a small town. But as a widow, she'd get a lot of sympathy.
You got to help me.
A game of hide and seek.
She called the police, his brother, the hospital. She was completely hysterical.
Reveals more than a skeleton in the closet.
It's a story of sex, lies, and videotape.
And has a ghastly endgame.
A cheese knife is not a sex toy.
English Rose, Carol Croydon, marries the man of her dreams in the year 2000.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family.
It's a second marriage for the 35-year-old bride and her groom, Philip.
An extremely nice man. Nobody really had a bad word to say about him.
For richer, for poorer.
Philip is 10 years older than Carol. with 2 grown-up sons.
Can't get the smile off his face.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Carol's been looking for a white knight all her life.
Carol had a very shocking, unhappy upbringing as a child. She's put into foster care at just 2 years of age.
Until death do us part.
Until death do us part.
Her mother fled her violent husband, but she didn't take Carol with her.
You may kiss the bride.
For a child, that would be devastating.
Carol must have been attracted to Philip's stability and his honesty.
The couple settles in Nottingham, England, on the edge of the Sherwood Forest. Robin Hood territory. But Philip doesn't need to steal from the rich to indulge his Maid Marian.
Okay, you ready? You can look.
Oh, I love it!
Yeah?
Thanks to a thriving upholstery business, Philip is rich.
You deserve it.
And it drives like a dream.
How do you know?
Took it for a little test ride.
Well, that'll be the last time.
Oh, come on, Carol. He helped me choose it.
Philip put Carol up on a pedestal. He bought her a luxury sports car, he bought her jewelry, he bought her clothes.
She's a bit funny with her things sometimes.
She loved the money, she loved the lifestyle that Philip was able to create for her. And that's what she seemed to crave above all things.
She likes it.
Philip even signed over their £500,000 house to her name and did the same thing with his business.
Carol, an accountant, proves perfect at counting their pennies. They seem like a match made in heaven.
Get your girls to chase these up. They're all neck pain.
Philip so adored Carol that he even named his upholstery company after her.
I need to get back to the factory.
You were taking me out tonight.
We've got to make hay while the sun shines, haven't we?
But the business keeps Phil busy at work. And not in the bedroom.
See you later.
That was not good enough for her. She demanded constant attention, so she found that she wasn't getting it from Philip, so she looked elsewhere.
Hello? Hi, Terry. You free?
Carol had 3 affairs in fast succession over about a 6-month period. Tells you about her dissatisfaction with her home life.
I'll see you then.
Carol had a devoted husband who was very well off and gave her everything she wanted, except he didn't give her boyfriends. Those she had to go out and get on her own.
So how'd you get away?
You should know not to leave me alone.
The first affair Carol had was a brief fling with a man from work.
But Carol wants more. She discovers the joy of online shopping.
She then met another character on the internet.
Nelson was a 50-year-old former lab assistant, a former council worker who himself was married.
I told my wife about us.
Why did you do that?
I'm leaving you. I want to spend all my time with you.
Nelson, like others before him, falls hard for Carol.
Carol had 2 great loves in life, using sex to get what she wanted and money.
But it turns out Carol isn't the only Croydon fooling around.
Hi, it's me. Look, turns out I'm free. Do you want to meet up?
At the same time, Philip was also having an affair, but neither of them knew what the other one was up to.
Bye.
After only 3 years, Carol was having lots of affairs, and so was Philip. I call that a bad marriage.
This can only end in tears. But whose?
And that seemed to be the catalyst for everything that followed.
In April 2003, British couple Carol and Philip Croydon struggled to keep their 3-year marriage alive.
Do you have to go?
I've got an early meeting, love.
Carol was tired of being married to Philip, that's clear.
Meet me in a hotel room later on today.
Both have been having illicit affairs, but now Carol wants to settle their differences.
Book a room.
She told him she wanted to have a romantic evening at a hotel.
It's a time-worn formula to rekindle the flames. But tonight, there'll be only disappointment.
Philip, where are you? I'm starting to worry.
Carol is stuck at home and can't find her husband.
She'd phoned local hospitals, I think she'd phoned other people, all to ask where Philip was.
No one's heard from him. I'm afraid something terrible has happened.
Housekeeping.
The night of anticipated romance ends in tragedy. It's April 26th, 2003, and Philip is found naked in a hotel room, stabbed to death.
22 stab wounds to his chest and neck. He would have been covered with blood. It would have looked like a bloodbath.
Mom, I'm afraid it's not good news. Your husband's dead.
The police relay the grisly news to Carol.
When Carol was told about her husband's murder, she burst into tears, saying she wanted her baby back, she wanted her Philip back, and she got increasingly hysterical.
Only one of the Croydons made it to the hotel that night, or so it seems.
We're hoping the security cameras in the hotel will give us some answers.
As soon as Carol learned from the police that they had CCTV coverage, she quickly changed her story and put herself at the crime scene.
Carol is keeping a secret, and CCTV cameras are about to expose it.
Carol immediately changed her story and claimed that Philip had been at a swingers party at the hotel. She went to the hotel, had sex with Philip, and was about to have sex with the couple who were there when she changed her mind and left.
Carol says the swingers must have killed her husband.
There is no sex practice I know of that involves 22 stab wounds to the neck and the chest. Carol's story of a kinky sex practice gone wrong didn't hold water at all.
When the police find no evidence to support Carol's swingers story, she breaks down and confesses the killer is her lover.
She claimed that actually it was Nelson who had come into the hotel room and committed the murder.
If somebody is making a drastic left or right turn from the original story, that's a huge problem.
The police finally pieced together what really happened that night, thanks to the hotel's CCTV video.
Get your gear on. I'm planning something special.
Carol arrives carrying a shopping bag and armed with an unusual weapon.
A cheese knife is a rather strange weapon to stab someone with. I think she maybe just picked it up because it was the sharpest thing she could find.
Carol wants to cut Phil out of her life for good.
Once in the room, Carol's intention, first of all, was to put Philip at his ease, not to arouse any kind of suspicion.
After sex, Philip would be relaxed, sleepy, and of course, naked.
Carol had him where she wanted. He was naked, vulnerable, expecting more sex, and suddenly out of that bag, she produced the cheese knife.
And stabbed him 22 times in the neck and the chest.
Cheese knives are designed to cut cheese, not human skin. It would have made the stabbing much more difficult than it had been with a cutting knife. He would be covered in blood and in a great deal of pain. Philip would have been aware of his desperate situation. He was watching himself bleed out.
Carol tries to stage a bondage slaying, but gets it all wrong.
She placed a tie around his already bloody wrists and neck. Without blood on the ties or the neck, it was clear to the pathologist that these were placed on after he was already dead.
But Carol thinks she's gotten away with murder.
She was so calm and so cold that she took a shower and she got dressed and she left the hotel room as if nothing had happened.
Next, her alibi.
Some killers after a murder are a bit shook up. They want to be alone. They isolate themselves, maybe hit the bottle. Not Carol. She celebrated with a sexual party with her lover. Nelson was nothing more than a sex toy and an alibi for Carol.
But the web of lies comes further unstuck when police find the shopping bag at her home.
And when police found that shopping bag, they found spots of blood on it, which proved that she had the bag and was in the hotel room at the time of the murder.
In 2004, Carol Croydon is found guilty of first-degree murder. She is sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 15 years.
Carol herself was an incredibly chilling figure. Cold-hearted, scheming, and yet with an allure that seemed to draw men in.
Carol Croydon had a man who loved her and the money to enjoy their life together. But it still wasn't enough. She wanted her lifestyle with no strings attached.
Her goal is her own pleasure and money. Other people's money. That's a psychopath.
Next, falling in love is easy.
They were gonna live together, and it was gonna be happily ever after.
Falling for the right person.
Claire?
You know, something's gonna happen with her. She's a fatal attraction.
Is a little more complicated.
Rejection is as painful for someone like Claire as a knife through her heart.
Everyone loves a wedding, except 32-year-old Claire Welsh.
I'll never be the bride.
Oh, come on.
Smart and beautiful, Claire seems like a good catch.
Claire was a cheerleader, a valedictorian, and a physical therapist from Arizona. Seemed like she had her life made.
But none of her men stay around.
Claire kept being left. No one wanted to marry her. That was an image she could not handle.
Then, in 1995,
It's nice to meet you.
she meets Jack Molesky at his sister's wedding.
So I can't believe I've known your sister all this time and I've never met you.
I know. All it took was for her to get hitched.
The 38-year-old schoolteacher is the perfect tonic for Claire's wounded pride.
He was the salt of the earth. He was the kindest person you would ever meet.
Can I see you again?
Everybody liked him because he was just a nice guy. And before you know it, Jack and Claire had started a relationship.
It seems a perfect match.
Where are you taking me?
You'll see.
Claire's athletic, loves the outdoors.
You've got to be kidding me.
Jack is a renowned rock climber.
This is perfect for beginners.
He was really an outstanding rock climber, a mountain climber, well known throughout Colorado.
That's it. Now let's move up to the next ledge.
Avid about it. Loved to climb mountains, rock sides, anything.
Jack's a good teacher. Claire's a willing student.
You're in good hands, I promise.
But she wants much more.
This was the new love of her life.
This is more my thing.
They were going to live together, and it was going to be happily ever after, and everything was going to be wonderful.
What Jack doesn't know is his new girlfriend
These are my college buddies, Josh and Neil.
has borderline personality disorder.
A hallmark characteristic of someone with borderline personality disorder is intense fears of abandonment in almost every relationship they form.
Oh, excuse me, I just wanted to talk to something.
Jack,
Claire is extremely jealous of Jack's friends.
Unless his arms were around her all the time, she was a mess.
Yeah, what?
Sorry, I just don't feel well.
What? We just got it.
She had to be with him at all cost.
hello, Susan?
And Claire won't be sharing.
Hello, Jessica?
She starts contacting all the women in Jack's life.
Hi, my name is Claire. You know Jack Molesky.
And declares he's off limits.
I'm his girlfriend, and I need to know. So why don't you just tell me everything? And
Claire started doing strange things like reading Jack's mail and going through his phone book and calling women in his little black book, so to speak.
how do you know Jack?
Oh, you know, we used to date.
Yeah, how long ago?
And that speaks to the need for drama that someone with borderline personality has.
But Claire's drama
Please don't cry.
quickly proves too much for Jack. He calls it off.
I'm just not ready to settle down yet.
He couldn't just say, "Go away, woman, leave me alone."
You don't love me like I love you.
He just sort of tried to gently push her away.
You'll be okay. You'll find someone else.
I don't want anyone else. I want to be with you.
Jack returns to his free spirit ways. For weeks, they live separate lives. Until there's a knock on his door.
Claire?
He thought he was all done with her.
What are you doing here?
And there's Claire. And she's got luggage.
But Claire is carrying more than luggage.
I think I'm pregnant.
She said she didn't have any place to stay. She doesn't have a job. She has nothing. Please help me, Jack. So Jack lets her in.
Jack agrees to support Claire through her pregnancy.
So, you seen a doctor? You need to if you're pregnant.
She's hoping they'll pick up where they left off.
Well, I'm gonna hit the sack. Good night, then.
Claire would stop at nothing to attain her goal. And that was getting back in Jack's life and his bed.
She would get in bed with him, completely nude, and one thing would lead to another, and, you know, things would happen there.
She moves in and immediately sort of starts taking over. She changed the message on his voicemail so that instead of just saying, "You got Jack," you've got Jack and Claire.
You been to the doctor yet?
No. Couldn't get an appointment.
Although he's seduced in bed.
I bought you this.
As the months pass, Jack suspects he's been hoodwinked.
Well?
I think it's faulty.
Claire isn't pregnant.
It's just not working.
That's when he knew he'd been had.
Jack didn't see Claire for what she was, a deadly woman.
(1996) in Colorado Springs. Jack Molesky is fed up with Claire Welch's lies.
I'm sick of your lies, Claire.
I'm not lying.
He demands she moves out of his apartment.
I'm not lying.
That is final.
He put his foot down and said, "You have to leave, and I want you out," and it was probably very hard for him to do that.
Oh, you've got to come over at...
January 12th, 1997. Claire makes a frantic call to her cousin,
Call 911 when you get here.
who races over to Jack's apartment.
Claire?
Claire was in a fetal position on the floor, totally naked.
Claire, can you hear me?
She had the gunshot wound to the chest, and she had the graze wound to her head.
Claire.
And Jack lies dead in his bed. It looks like a home invasion.
When they started to question Claire at the hospital, she remembered her name, but not a whole lot else.
Ma'am.
When asked why she wouldn't talk to them, she said, "I can't answer any questions. I might say something wrong."
Can you tell me what happened?
She stared up at the roof where she just blankly stared ahead.
Claire doesn't want to tell her terrible secret.
She was a nut job. I mean, really, she was just flat out crazy obsessed with this man.
Police search Jack's place and find a Bible with passages Claire's highlighted about murder.
She was a mess. Anxiety, depression, fear of death. She had to be with him at all cost.
She went out and bought a gun.
Claire is planning a way they can be together forever.
One night, after Jack had gone to sleep, she grabbed the gun and the ammunition. Jack was sleeping on his stomach. She put the muzzle of the gun flat against his skull. And pulled the trigger. Jack died instantly.
Because if she couldn't have him, no one else could have him.
Jack had the audacity and the cruelty to not love her. And for that, he had to pay.
Claire finally gets her man to stay put. And she's not letting him go.
She was cuddling him afterwards for quite some time based on the condition his body was in once we got there.
The fact that Claire could cuddle up speaks to how really cool, calm, and collected she was about killing Jack. There was no anxiety there.
For hours, she lies with Jack's corpse. Claire doesn't want to spend life in prison. She wants to spend eternity with Jack.
I guess her head wasn't a big enough target for her shooting ability.
Then she puts the gun not to her heart, but way over on the fleshy part of her chest. I don't think Claire ever really intended on killing herself.
Ma'am.
Claire finally confesses to police, but says she didn't know what she was doing.
What I recollect is her being in a daze.
It was like I was looking down.
That she was above her body and looking down and saw this all take place and had no control of it. Well, I threw that out the window right away.
No one believes Claire Welsh's plea of insanity. In 1998, she is convicted of murder and sentenced to life without parole. Claire should have had it all. The smart, sexy prom queen had no trouble attracting men, but she couldn't keep them.
Claire knew it was wrong to kill Jack, but she just wanted to do it.
Jack paid the price for all her heartache. These deadly women didn't know the meaning of love. Darlene Gentry closed her husband's bedroom eyes forever. Carol Croydon valued her husband's money more than his life. And Claire Welsh preferred murder to rejection. 3 loving men found out too late they were sleeping with the enemy.